Good evening, everybody, and welcome back. We are here today down in the capital of Wales to play Cardiff Metropolitan University in match week 8 of the Cymru Premier. TNS are coming into this with fine spirits after getting a good win streak going, having not lost since the opening game to Britain Ferry at the Parkhall Stadium. Cardiff are struggling a little bit down near the bottom of the table this year, having one of the best starts as the teams lead each other out now. TNS also have a bolstering attack, including very much in-form man Jordan Williams, who is on 7 in his last 6 starts and is the joint top scorer of the Cymru Premier this season alongside Adam Davies from Carnarvon. Just hear a little bit of singing from me from some young Cardiff Metropolitan fans. The Archers will hope for an upset today at home, as the last time they were here, they were beaten thoroughly by TNS 6-0, including a hat-trick from Adam Wilson, who I no longer have to say is a former player because he's back today. It was announced today that Adam Wilson has signed back on a permanent deal from Bradford to TNS after spending last season on loan, and it is his 3rd spell at the club. He starts now, the right winger. He's on the bench for this evening's game, wearing the number 77, and he's not too happy about it, but let's hope he can make an impact if he does get the call to come on. Just give you the home sides team first. Number 1, Kelland Absalom. Number 3, Joel Edwards. Number 4, Liam Walsh. Number 5, Sam Richards. Number 6, Ryan Reynolds, not the American. Number 7, Elliot Evans. Number 8, Dixon Kabongo. Number 11, Adam Ruscrow. Number 14, Jake Morris. Number 16 and captain is CJ Craven. And number 19 is Fumba Mwandwi. And then the away sides team is as follows. Number 1, Nathan Sheffield in goal. Number 4, Dominic Cornus. Number 6, Jack Bothenham. Number 8, Ryan Brobler returns to the team. Number 10 and captain Danny Redmond. Number 14, Dan Williams. Number 16, Harrison Mackay. Number 17, Jordan Williams. Number 18, Rory Holden. Number 22, Danny Davis. And number 28, Ben Wilson. As just awaiting kick-off here, Ben Wilson's still over it. Dan Williams is dropping into right-back yet again today, a natural midfielder, but he has been covering up right-back due to the injury issues, and Danny Davis, the natural number 1 right-back at TNS, is pushed out to the left after injuries to Jordan Marshall, Josh Daniels and Harvey Godsmack-Ford, who's just coming back from his injury that he picked up in the first leg against Differdonge in the European qualifiers. Just a late kick-off here. Ben Wilson passes it back to Cornus. Cornus goes out right to Dan Williams. TNS been in really good form recently. 2 big wins in a row, 5-0 and a 6-0, 11 goals in their last 2 home games. You can't ask for much more from the new Saints, who had a shaky start to the season, as saying they had a disappointing European campaign and the shock defeat to Britain Ferry. But since then, TNS have been able to right a lot of wrongs and come back into the leading positions of the Cymru Premier. Currently sitting second on 14 points with Carnarvon, who are still unbeaten after 7 games. Very impressive from the Kofis. They have 17 points at the top of the league so far. But now we have Jack Bothenham on the ball, coming over the half-hour line, playing it to makeshift left-back Danny Davis. He goes inside to his captain, Redmond, who goes back to Harrison Mackay. Mwandwi pressing Dan Williams. He goes inside to Ben Wilson. Ben Wilson back to Holden. It's good possession from TNS. Cornus looks to switch it out wide to Davis. Davis coming inside now. Looks to go past Elliot Evans. Instead cuts it back to Brobble. He goes first time into the midfield for Redmond, who delivers a cross into the back stick where Dan Williams is arriving. He gets something on it as well, but it's saved by Absalom. Eventually cleared by the Archers. Harrison Mackay can head it back down to his centre-back partner, Bothenham. Whips one out wide to Ryan Brobble. Brobble back to Redmond. And Redmond goes safely back to Harrison Mackay. He spreads it out to right back Dan Williams. Williams plays 1-2 Holden. And then goes back to the halfway line to Bothenham. He spreads it out wide to Danny Davis. TNS are looking to create some width here in the opening stage of this game. Redmond. Maguire. He goes up to Holden. Goes up the right to Dan Williams. Williams cuts inside of Mwamba. Puts the ball into the box for Ben Wilson. It's bouncing on the penalty spot. Looks like it's been cleared by Joel Edwards. Played back by Ryan Reynolds, and it's cleared up the pitch. Down to the left wing area, right in front of me actually. Harrison Maguire takes that throw in. Now Jack Botherham. We're just seeing a couple of new faces like Mwande. Mwande on the attacking third of the Cardiff Met team, the number 19. There's a new face from last season. The rest of them are the familiar faces of last year's team that lost 6-0 here. But it looks like the first corner of the game for the New Saints. I think Cardiff Met have really struggled for goals this season. The only standout really has been Sam Jones, who is absent today. Corner to the back stick, headed away by Joel Edwards, and it'll be a free kick to Cardiff Met for a foul from Jack Botherham. As I was saying, missing Sam Jones, who's got 3 assists so far in the Cumbria Premier this season in his 7 appearances. But he's absent from the Cardiff Met side today, so they look like they might be missing a little bit of creativity, but they're going to have to soak up a lot of early pressure from the New Saints. As Absalom has the goal kick. Absalom's goal kick is long. Looking for Jake Morris. Goes over his head though and goes straight out for a throw in. Williams standing over this throw in. Goes inside to Corners. Corners pops it back to him. And Williams goes up the line. Ben Wilson looking to hold it up away from Joel Edwards. Won by the Cardiff man. Redmond gives the ball away in midfield. And now Reese picks it up to drive forward. Mwanda out wide. He finds his number 19, but he looks to be in an offside position as Reese misses the header anyway. Davis goes inside to Botherham. And he goes back to Maguire. Maguire looking to go up the pitch for Dan Williams. Mwande's tracked it well and gets a good tackle in to put it out for a TNS throw in. Williams goes back to Maguire. Maguire to Botherham. Goes to Redmond. Redmond back to Botherham. Probble out to Maguire. Maguire up the line to Dan Williams. Williams to Cornus. Cornus to Brobble. Brobble tries to clip a ball over the top, looking for the run of Redmond. Headed away by Cardiff Met. Like a clash of heads between the two players as well. Ryan Reynolds is one of them. Looks like Sam Richards as well, who is again has gone on to concede the corner for Cardiff Met. And it's the second corner of the game for the New Saints. But it looks like it's just a clash of heads here, as I said. Ryan Reynolds and Sam Richards both down as the physios are flagged to come on. Just both players for Cardiff Met receiving some extended treatment, as Phil Davis, the physio for TNS, is also on the pitch to help out. Looks like one of the down players is having his head straps. There is a cut here. Just wonder whether he'll be able to carry on or not. So, Ryan Reynolds is back on his feet, I think. I apologise for if I'm a bit slow to identify players tonight, as I'm not commentating in the usual position. I'm quite a distance away from people, so I can't actually identify players very quickly, but I'll catch on soon enough. It might actually be the captain, CJ Craven, who's got his head strapped up. Yes, as I said, it's hard to see who the players are from the distance I am. But yeah, it is a CJ Craven who's had his head strapped up. As it looks like Ryan Reynolds is still down, receiving treatment from both physios now. And it looks like there's going to be a change here, an early change for Cardiff Met. Just waiting for this change to be made. And CJ Craven makes his way back onto the pitch. So it looks to be the number 21 for Cardiff Met that'll be coming on, which is Barnaby Sodi. Just a worrying sign. So the player's still down for Cardiff Met. It's a really worrying sign for them, as the physio is just helping back up to his feet. As he receives a standing ovation from the home support. It is the number 4, Liam Walsh, who's coming off with a bad head injury. The number 21, Barnaby Sodi, is coming on to replace Liam Walsh. And we, us at the New Saints, wish him a speedy recovery and hope it isn't too serious. So, Cardiff Met forced into an early change as we finally wait for this corner to come in. Brobel's corner up to the front post. Could have gone all the way through there. There's a really good ball from Brobel, goes right across the 6-yard box. No one there to connect with it though, and it ultimately goes out for a goal kick to Cardiff Met. But it's a dangerous cross from Brobel. Just needed that final touch. So Absalom goal kick here. So, goal kicks taken along towards the left wing. Morris and Ruscrow jump in. It ultimately comes off a TNS head first and goes out for a Cardiff Met throw in here with Jake Morris standing over it. So, Morris, long throw towards the edge of the box. Ruscrow jump in, headed away by Dan Williams. Drops onto CJ Craven from distance, who does shoot, but it was always rising. Good attempt from the skipper though, and it goes out for a TNS goal kick. So switch from Jack Bodenham onto Rory Holden. Lovely pass from him and a really good take from Holden, but Mwande's getting back quickly here. Goes to Dan Williams, goes first time into the edge of the box. Picked up by, looks like Sam Richards it is. He gets it on to Joel Edwards, who clears it. Only as far as Dominic Cornus. He heads it back into midfield though, and Cardiff Met can get on their way again here. Played forward by Ryan Reynolds. Elliot Evans tried to play a 1-2 with Ruscrow, but he didn't see him. And it goes out for a TNS throw-in. Now it's with Davis. He goes up the line looking for the run of Jordan Williams. He's going to battle with CJ Craven, who puts it out for a throw in there. Good play from the Cardiff captain. Brave playing on as well after the head injury. He's got a bandage around his head, so I'm imagining there's been a cut, quite a nasty cut to the head of the Cardiff captain, but he's carrying on here for his team. Jordan's throw is long into the box. Headed away by Cardiff. Bothernham gets onto the second ball. Cleared further by Ruscrow. Mwande pressing Rory Holden, who will just see it out for a TNS throw-in and take it quickly back to the halfway line for Cornus. Cornus goes out to Redmond, who's dropped into the left-back area. Redmond to Brobble. He goes back to Cornus. Cornus, long ball over the top to the right wing where Rory Holden's picked up a position. He heads it down to Dan Williams. Tries to get a cross in Williams, but it's deflected off of Ryan Reynolds and it will go out for another corner for TNS. This time it will be from the opposite side for Dominic Cornus to take an in-swing corner with his left foot. Ball from Cornus. Looks to be headed in by Danny Davis, and it has gone in as well. And that is 1-0 to the New Saints. Danny Davis gets 2 in 2 games. Such a goal-scoring threat from corners. Looks like a Dominic Cornus assist just on the 14th minute mark here for the New Saints, and they are 1-0 up. Easy as that really, I can't really tell what happened, I'll be honest. Corner comes in. It just hits Danny Davis on his knee and goes in. It's a very instinctive finish actually from the right back, playing left back today. And that, just as easy as that, is 1-0 to the New Saints, right on the 14th minute mark. But I can just hear here, the only good thing about me being pitch side for commentary is I can just hear what the boys are saying. You hear the captain, Danny Redmond, telling his team, do not let this drop now, continue the pressure and go get another one. Danny Davis has been such a welcomed addition back into the squad after such a long and hard time with injuries. Worked hard to get back fit and back to playing his best football. As it's just a good turn from Dominic Cornus to get away from Mwande. He spreads it out wide to the goal scorer Davis. He goes on to Brobble. Brobble switches it onto Dan Williams' run. Williams picks it up. Jake Morris holding him up. Williams megs him to go past him. Lovely skill from Dan Williams. Gets it into the back post. A little bit too high for Redmond, but it goes out to Jordan Williams now, right on the byline on the left side. Goes back to Redmond. He goes inside to Brobble. Brobble being pressed by Kabongo. Goes back up wide to Williams, who goes first time to the centre circle where Bothernham is. Bothernham forward onto Rory Holden. His touch is a bit loose, as Sodi's tracked it, but he's giving it away again. Now Brobble has the ball. Lovely ball roll from him onto Holden, back to Redmond. Now Brobble puts the ball into the back post now. Danny Davis is in there again. Goes to Dan Williams on the right of the back stick. Is blocked though by Cardiff Met, and now Mwande can drive forward with his pace. Skips well past Dominic Cornus. Lovely skill from the number 19. Plays it through to Ruscrow, who's in here. Could they equalise so quickly? Ruscrow goes past Nathan Shepherd and it's a goal. And Cardiff Met have equalised. It's a swift counter-attack. Mwande made the run. Burst past two TNS players. Knocks it round Cornus. Gets down the byline and plays the early ball through to Adam Ruscrow. Hadn't been picked up by Harrison Maguire. And the number 11, the veteran, found himself through on goal, and just such a calm finish from him to slot it through the legs of Nathan Shepherd and put his side back into this game at 1-1. It is TNS 1, Cardiff Met 1, 16 minutes in. Just 2 minutes between the goals. That's the exact response the Cardiff Met would have wanted. Great assist from Mwande as well, but a really, really cultured finish from Adam Ruscrow. It is now 1-1. TNS hit on such a quick counter-attack from the Archers. Just completely dismantled TNS on a break. And they'll be very happy with that, Cardiff. Look, they would be disappointed to go 1-0 down so early on in the game after. And it's such a poor goal to concede from their defensive side. But they'll be very happy slick attacking football to get right back into this game. What a lovely counter-attack it was. And it's a brilliant run from Mwande. There's a great finish from Adam Rusko, but a lot of the credit has to go to Cardiff's number 19 on the left wing. But now Danny Davis looking to get TNS back into the lead, puts it into the box. Absalom comes out quick though and gets a hand on it. So it's in the goalie's hands now. He goes up to looking for Rusko. Brobbles underneath it though, up to the halfway line. CJ Craven will try and get it back up the line. Evans battling with Davis. CJ Craven heads it back down with a hole in his head. Sodi goes long looking for Elliot Evans, cleared by Bodenham. And the clearance has actually looked to be a really good pass as Jordan Williams has gotten to the end of it down the left wing. Looks to go past a few Cardiff players, been held up. Does well though to get it into the box to Ben Wilson's feet. Wilson lays it onto Redmond. Redmond switches it out wide to Holden. Holden onto the run of Dan Williams. Can he get a shot away? Squares it across goal. Cleared well by Kabongo, and now Mwanda's pace can punish TNS again here, can he? As he comes across the halfway line, a bit of a bounce touch up from him, looking for a foul as he goes down under the contact of Rory Holden, but the referee says no. Now Cornus switches it to Davis. Davis to Bodenham. Cornus onto Rory Holden. He goes down the wing to Dan Williams. Puts a ball into the box. Jordan Williams just misses it. It's a yard in front of him. Sodi clears it onto Elliot Evans. He goes long. Bodenham's going to sweep that up though and go back to his goalkeeper. And TNS will start again here. And they'll be disappointed to concede an equaliser so quickly after taking the lead. Just a slight lack of concentration for a second, and they were punished to devastating effect by Adam Rusko. Now Cornus plays it first time into Dan Williams' feet. It's touched a little bit loose in the box, but he's managed to play it against Sam Richards and win a corner. And they scored from the last one, TNS, so Dominic Cornus will hope for another good delivery here. Cornus towards the penalty spot, cleared by Cardiff, and now Mwande can get onto it. Redmond's tracking him quickly. Redmond comes across and commits a cynical foul, and he'll go into the book for that. Danny Redmond, the skipper, picks up the first yellow card of the game. It was a foul he had to make as Mwande was really peeling away with his pace there. Redmond felt that must have been a foul he had to make as he just comes across and takes the man out. So free kick here, just inside of the Cardiff Met half, but he'll go long, Absalom. He's come up to take it. Absalom's kick is long. Joel Edwards jumping, heads it down towards Elliot Evans, cleared by Danny Davis. Sodi battling with Brobble. Looks like it's gone off Sodi, and it will out for a TNS throw-in. So Cornus, out wide to Davis. Bodenham to Magai. Magai to Dan Williams. Back to Magai. Magai goes back to Dan Williams again. Williams plays it down the line looking for the run of Ben Wilson. Gets onto it, puts a first-time ball into the box. It's actually a good, really good ball onto the 6-yard box. It was cleared by Sodi as no one was underneath it. Dan Williams will try to play it up the line again, but Jake Morris will pick it up for Cardiff Met and clear it long. Nathan Sheffield will come out and claim that, but he's going to be pressed by Adam Rusko. Really calm feet from the goalkeeper to play it short to Magai while he was under pressure. Cornus tries to switch it onto Davis, but Sodi just gets a glancing header onto it to put it out for a throw-in. Davis to Bodenham. Maguire swings it out wide to Dan Williams. Now with Dominic Cornus. Cornus back to Maguire. Maguire to Bodenham. Goes up to Brobble. Back to Bodenham. Bodenham looks for the switch for Dan Williams. It's a great pass from the TNS centre-back onto Dan Williams' run. He puts it onto the round to the 6-yard box. It's a really good cross, but no one can get a touch onto it. Just see a few of the TNS players arguing amongst themselves. A little bit of a lack of communication there as the ball came into the box. No one knew who was really going to claim it. And that chance eventually comes to nothing. Yeah, just Ben Wilson don't think he does enough just to try and really get on the end of that ball. He could have, if he throws himself at that, I think he just gets a touch. It was such a good delivery from Dan Williams that it just needed the slightest of touches to get past the goalkeeper. But it isn't to be, and it stays 1-1. Absalom kicks it long over the halfway line. Rusko battling with Maguire. Kabongo wins the second ball though, and he might have a free shot here from distance. Tracked well by Jordan Williams, who gets the ball first. He says that's the referee who agrees with him. And Danny Davis will come away with the ball. Goes up the line to Brobble. Brobble skips past Sodi. Little McGeady spin inside. Lovely skill from Brobble, and he cuts it back to Dom Cornus. He spreads it out wide quickly to Dan Williams. Dan Williams does the same down the line to Holden. Joel Edwards is tracking him. Holden cuts inside. Delivers with his left foot. CJ Craven slices the clearance. Pops out into midfield. Danny Redmond goes flying into the challenge, wins it fairly. He needs to be careful though, he's already on a yellow card. Now it's with Cornus. To Dan Williams. Back to Cornus. Cornus clips it over the top, looking for the overlapping run of Dan Williams. And he does get there as well. Good pass from Cornus. He receives the ball back again now. Goes back to Maguire. Maguire to Bodenham. Spreads it to Davis. He goes to Brobble. Brobble looking for the run of Jordan Williams. A lovely drop of the shoulder to get away from CJ Craven. Gets it across goal. Cleared by, look like Sam Richards. And the ball's further cleared by Sodi. Nathan Shepherd's quickly onto it though. You know, we all know Nathan Shepherd's very much a sweeper keeper, very modern goalkeeper. Now Maguire to Dan Williams. Williams to Cornus. Cornus back to Williams. Williams to Maguire. And he goes out wide to Bodenham. Back inside to Cornus. Cornus with a reverse ball, looking for the run of Dan Williams. Might have to do a little bit too much to keep this in. Does well though. I think he's won a corner out of that as well. He has. Really good play from Dan Williams. He has a lot of ground to cover to try and make something of that ball. And just plays it against Jake Morris, who closed him down quickly to win another corner. So, Dominic Cornus to take the corner. So, Cornus delivers, this time to the back post. Headed away by Sam Richards. Onto Brobble, outside the boot, shot from the box, and it's just over the bar. Such an inventive finish that from Ryan Brobble. Just tries to direct it back towards the far top corner with the outside of his right foot, and it's so close to being a wonder goal from Brobble. It wouldn't be the first time he scored one here. Scored a lovely goal against Cardiff Met just only a couple of years back, as well as last season. The man on the bench, the man who's making his big return this evening, hopefully, is Adam Wilson, who scored one of the goals of the season here last year, putting him from his right-hand side onto his stronger left foot and putting one so far in the top corner. Now it's with Bodenham, being pressed by Rusgrove. Forced to go back to Harrison Maguire, who clears it first time. Joel Edwards heads it down, onto Rory Holden. Ryan Reynolds closes him down quickly now back to Edwards. Edwards goes to Sodi. The pass is a little bit behind him, so he's forced to go back to his goalkeeper. Jordan Williams will press Absalom, but he'll have enough time to get it up to Ryan Reynolds. However, Cornus will come away with the ball. Got a lot of Cardiff Met shirts around him, though. Finds the pass in the end to Dan Williams. Williams to Bodenham. He goes out to Danny Davis. Davis up the line to Brobble. They want to go one-on-one with Sodi. Smashes it against the Cardiff Met defender and wins a throw-in. So Davis throws it to Redmond, but he gives the ball away. It's cleared to Cornish on the edge of the box. Tries to switch it out wide to Dan Williams, who has managed to get onto the end of it as Jake Morris closes him down, and Williams' touch is just too loose, and it'll go out for a throw-in right by the corner flag for Cardiff Met. Outlined by Jake Morris. Dan Williams heads it down. Good strength from Redmond to see him off. Spreads it out wide to Brobble. Brobble, reverse ball, looking for Ben Wilson, but goes straight through to the Cardiff Met goalkeeper. Alston's kick is long again. Ruskrow trying to get underneath it. Dan Williams heads it though. It's a free ball into midfield for CJ Craven, but his clearance is loose and it'll go straight to Rory Holden. Don't think he realised how much time he had, the Cardiff Met captain. Bodenham out wide to Davis. Davis into Redmond. Redmond to Maguire. He spreads it out wide to Dan Williams. Williams back to Maguire. Now with Bodenham. Fires it at Ryan Brobble's feet. It was a very aggressive pass from Bodenham, but Brobble did really well to bring it down in the end. He tries to clip a ball over the top to Dan Williams with great touch, puts it across the box. Jordan Williams on it. Seconds, it's to Ben Wilson, and it's 2-1 to the New Saints. Scrappy finish in the end. What a pass from Ryan Brobble in the build-up. I was just laughing about his control from the previous ball, but he's managed to fire a pass over to Dan Williams, and we can't take away the first touch from Dan Williams. He plucked that ball at the sky really well to get it back across goal. Jordan Williams right on the goalkeeper's throat, trying to get a touch onto it. It looked like it was cleared originally by Cardiff. Great touch from Dan Williams. This fires it across goal, and it just comes off the back of Jordan Williams. He couldn't get onto the end of it, but it bounces out to Ben Wilson. He grabs his 5th Cymru Premier goal of the season, and it is 2-1 to the New Saints, who get their lead once again as we hit the 30th minute mark. Kick off from Evans. CJ Craven puts it out for a throw-in right at the corner flag for TNS. I've seen this tactic. There's a lot of Arsenal have been using it a lot in the Premier League this season. Just going to try and pin TNS into their own half here. But TNS, we know, are a very good ball-playing side. Dan Williams goes up the line to Jordan Williams. Tried to flick it on. Edwards is onto it, though. Ryan Reynolds controls it. Gets it up to Elliot Evans, but Bodenham is strong. Cornish wins the second ball. Williams tries to flick it on further, but he's headed it forward instead. Mwande trying to get past Don Cornish, but lovely feet from him. He has given it away in the end. Ruskrow bounces it off to Mwande. He picks the ball up from distance, shoots, blocked by Bodenham, gets a second bite of the cherry, but it goes wide of the left post of the TNS goal, and it'll be a goal kick for the New Saints. So Schefter plays it short to Bodenham. Little drop of the shoulder from him to get away from Ruskrow. And he'll go long in the end, looking for the run of Jordan Williams, leaning into CJ Craven. His head is down to Kabongo. Now it's with Redmond. He goes back to Maguire, who spreads it out wide to Dan Williams. Williams back inside to Cornish. Now Redmond out wide onto the touchline where Danny Davis is. Sodi goes back to Craven. Now Bodenham heads it down to Redmond. Oh. Right, Dan Williams picks the ball up. Goes back to Harrison Maguire. Into Jack Bodenham. Now it's with Ryan Brobble. I apologise for the kids tried to hit the mic off me. Brobble into Holden. Ryan Reynolds will clear it. Now it's with Danny Redmond. Switches it out to the right side for Jordan Williams. Does really well to keep it in, Jordan. Forced to go back to Cornish, though. Just near the halfway line. Cornish goes to Bodenham. Bodenham back to Cornish. Cornish. Now Dan Williams. Williams. Bodenham now. Just calm build-up from TNS. Probably the best ball of possession they've had so far in this first half. Bodenham. Out to Davis. Davis. Couple step overs to get past Sodhi. Goes past him in the end. Gets it into the box. Only as far as Elliot Evans will clear it for Cardiff Met. Looks like Harrison Mackay's on the loose pieces and now goes back to Shepherd. He goes short to Redmond. First time to Mackay. Redmond clips the ball over the top. It looks like Jordan Williams is in here. Just behind him. He goes to the edge of the box for Rory Holden. Holden spreads it out wide to Davis. Attack still on for TNS. Davis comes inside, gets a shot away, takes a deflection off CJ Craven, and it'll go out for a corner for TNS. So, Brobble with the corner towards the goalkeeper, but he does well. He's strong, Absalom, to come out and claim it, and he'll try to get his attack on quickly with a long kick onto Mwande. Shepherd comes out strong and wins the header. Stands up well against Mwande. Really good goalkeeper from Shepherd. Brave from him to come out and use his head. So now Dan Williams goes to Bodenham. Bodenham to Cornish. Cornish to Dan Williams. Williams to Jordan Williams. Goes back to Dan Williams now. Got a lot of Cardiff Met shirts around him. Tries to get into the box. Cleared by Sam Richards. Williams looks to have been fouled in the box there maybe, but the referee says no and play will continue. Mwande picks it up. Now he looked like he was dragged back by Dominic Cornish, and the referee blows in the end for a free kick to Cardiff Met. See the TNS players protesting why the penalty wasn't given. Referees having none of it though. Here TNS telling the players to hold their line. Long towards Jake Morris, but he can't get it down. And it'll go out for a throw-in for TNS. 35 minutes in here. It's currently 2-1 to the New Saints. Long throw from Dan Williams. Touchdown by Jordan Williams. Switched by Rory Holden on to Ryan Brobble. Brobble, just patient looking for a ball. Comes inside and goes to Cornish. Cornish to Redmond. Goes to Davis. Davis looks to use his pace to get past Sodhi, and it's really good from the right back. Gets it in to the box. Miscued clearance from Jake Morris, but he gets it away eventually to Mwande. It looked like he was fouled by Cornish, and he is. So it'll be a free kick for Cardiff Met. Absalom goes long again. Looking for the run of Jake Morris, but Rory Holding can just see that out. Has just put a bit too much on it, the goalkeeper. So Dan Williams to take this throw in around the right back area for TNS. Up the line. Jordan Williams will look to flick it on. Joel Edwards gets there first. Look to be a TNS throw, and it is. Dan Williams takes it quickly onto Harrison Mackay. First time back to his goalkeeper. Calm from him. Big press from Cardiff Met, but TNS have managed to play out from the back here. Danny Davis goes long. Picked up by Sam Richards. The ball's on to Mwampa. If you can see him, he can't find him though. Ball's over the top. Looking for the run of Ben Wilson, but he's put a little bit too much on that corner, so it'll go straight through to Absalom. So, goal kick. My guy's underneath it. It's run by Dan Williams in the end. Looked like Mwande had his hands all over him, but the referee didn't see it. Now it's for Jordan Williams. Plays a 1-2 Holden. Holden switches it out wide to Brobble. Brobble back to Danny Davis. Davis to Bodenham. He goes out wide to Dan Williams. He goes down the line to Jordan Williams' run, but Joel Edwards tracks it well. Looks to prevent the corner, and he does. The number 3 for Cardiff Met goes out for a throw in instead. Williams takes it quickly onto Mackay. He goes to Bodenham. He hits the touchline for Danny Davis. He does hug the touchline just to create a lot of width in the TNS attack from his fullback position. Speaking of, he gets the ball into the box, Danny Davis. Jordan Williams is underneath it. It's gone to the edge of the box. Corner sweeps it up. Plays it to Bodenham. He spreads it out wide too. Dan Williams. He flicks it onto Rory Holden. Jake Morris is tracking him. Holden inside to Cornus. Cornus to Mackay. Mackay back to Cornus. Back to Mackay. Cornus. Holden. Looks to clip it to the back post. There's a run from Danny Davis. I think he's got onto it as well and kept it in. Now the referee says it's gone out for a goal kick. Did look for a second that Davis had managed to do enough to keep that in, but the referee says otherwise. So here's Absalom. Dan Williams looks to win it. Rory Holden will pick up the loose pieces from deep at right back. Goes back to his goalkeeper. Rushcrow will go to press Shepherd. Goes calmly back to Bodenham in the 18-yard box. He comes out with the ball and goes over the halfway line now to Danny Davis. With a little bit of space to drive into. Comes inside. Plays it onto Redmond. Redmond switches it onto Holden on the right wing. Now it's with Cornus. Cornus back inside to Redmond. Redmond to Dan Williams. Williams looks to get past Owen Morris. Morris stands up well, though, and looks to be fouled by Dan Williams. That'll be a foul as we go. So it is a free kick in the box of Cardiff Met. Absalom will take. Over the halfway line, Danny Davis wins the first header. Down to Brobble, who chests it down. Being pressed by Sodi. You can just see this 5 at the back formation for Cardiff Met as CJ Craven, the naturally a central midfielder, looks to be playing more of a centre-back role today, more of a sweeper really, on the right side of a back 3. With Sodi playing wing-back. Looks to be more of like a 3-5-2 formation or a 3-4-1. Now it's out to Danny Davis. Sodi gets in the way of it though, clears it. It just looks like Rushcrow is on his own up front, but Mwande will obviously support him with his pace from deep. Bodenham gets it onto Holden, tries to backheel it onto Ben Wilson, but just miscues it and it'll be cleared by Jake Morris. Cornus. Mackay to Bodenham. Bodenham to Redmonds. Now Harrison Mackay. Spreads it out wide. Dan Williams to Maguire. Back to Dan Williams. On to Rory Holden. Holden cuts inside. Goes back to Maguire. He's pushed on from centre-back. TNS playing really high at the moment. Bothering now. Just trying to properly pin Cardiff back now. TNS playing very high. Both centre-halves are over the centre circle. It's dangerous for a counter-attack if they do get caught in possession. Now Corners. Corners onto Dan Williams. Good run from him. Tries to get it back across the box. Cleared by Joel Edwards, but Rory Holden will pick it up in the right wing area. Goes back to Dan Williams. Delivers a ball into the back post. Brobble jump in. Bounces with Danny Davis. Gets a shot away. And it just goes wide. There's massive protests from the TNS players for a penalty on Danny Davis as he's getting the shot away, but the referee says no. So it's another goal kick here for Cardiff. Absalom over the halfway line. Rusko jump in. Bounces though, and Holden can bring it down. Onto Dan Williams. Williams looks for the over-the-top through ball, looking for Jordan Williams, but he was offside, so he leaves it to go through to the Cardiff Met goalkeeper. Long ball from Absalom, right down the centre of the pitch. Shepherd comes to claim it. It's gone over his head, but he got enough on it in the end. Misjudged it originally, the goalkeeper, but he does get enough of a glove onto it to stop it from going straight over his head and leave Mwanda with an empty goal. So yeah, Jake Morris long throw here for Cardiff Met as we approach the last minute of this first half. Yet to see how much added time there'll be, but I'd imagine there'll be a big chunk due to the injury early in the first half. Looks like it's took a deflection off Jordan Williams. It'll go out for a corner for Cardiff Met. The first one of the game for them. Sorry for any language you could hear there. Got a very, very lively group of young kids. And if you'd have heard them trying to get on the mic about 10 minutes ago as well, I don't think that'll be the last we hear from them, as they've just ran to go behind the goal to annoy Nathan Shepherd. Gotta love it. So, corner here to be taken by Ryan Reynolds. Looks like there's 5 minutes of added time here to close out this first half. That'll be due to the injury to Walsh earlier on in the game. Reynolds deep into the penalty box. Shepherd does really well to claim it. The referee's given a foul anyway. Going to be a free kick for TNS. But good goalkeeping from Nathan Shepherd. He goes on to Davis. Davis back to Bodenham. Now to Maguire. Maguire out to Dan Williams. Williams back to Maguire. Maguire to Bodenham. Bodenham to Maguire. Maguire to Dan Williams. Williams to Holden. Holden back to Maguire. Still with Maguire. Just playing some 1-2s with Bodenham and Holden here. Given away by TNS though. Ryan Reynolds gets onto the loose ball. Redmond in there for the 50-50. Kabongo comes away with it in the end. Goes on to Joel Edwards. Edwards up the pitch. Corners gets a touch onto it, but it'll go through to Adam Ruskrow. Taken wide by Dan Williams. Ruskrow's touch in the end, sees it go out. Referee's given a throw-in for for Cardiff Met, but I'll be honest, I didn't see it take a touch off a TNS man, but it's in a dangerous position, this throw-in, as we hit the second minute of added time. Be a long throw for Jake Morris. Morris's long throw into the box. Headed away by Bodenham. Kabongo tried to head it on to Morris, but he puts too much on that and it'll go out for a TNS throw-in. Big tackle from Ruscro there. Referee says nothing though. Dan Williams throws it up the line into Jordan, but his touch is poor and it'll go out for a throw-in. Morris throw-in up the line. Hold'em heads it away. Kabongo picks it up. Jordan Williams trying to win it back. Very tenacious, Jordan. Morris is forced back to his goalkeeper. Absalom gets it long in the end. Should bounce through to Shepherd. Good header from Maguy. Shepherd throws it out quickly as we approach the last 2 minutes or so of added time. Now with Brobble. Redmond onto Maguy. Now Redmond gets it out wide to Davis. Now with Brobble. Gets it into the box. Holding gets a flick onto it. It looks like it's gone in. It has. And right on the stroke of half-time, TNS get their 2-goal cushion. Brilliant header from Rory Holden. Just to glance it past Absalom. Just to get it past Absalom on the front post. Really good ball in from Ryan Brobble. He just cuts past Sodi. Right onto the near post there and glanced on by... Looked like it was glanced on by Rory Holden, but I think it's an own goal, actually. I think it might be an own goal from Sam Richards. We'll see when it comes through on my phone from the replay, but I don't think Rory touches it. I apologise to him if he does, but I think that might have been an own goal. But either way, 15 seconds before half-time, and it is TNS 3, Cardiff Met 0. Cardiff Met 1, sorry. Dan Williams up the pitch. Jake Morris clears it. Bodenham heads it away. And that'll be the end of this first half. It goes in at half-time. TNS 3, Cardiff Met 1. First goal was scored by Danny Davis. An unorthodox finish from the number 22, but managed to guide it into the corner. Second, but then just 2 minutes later, Russ Crowe popped up with the equaliser after hitting TNS on the break. Great goal, great run from Rwanda to set him up. Then Ben Wilson, after a bit of a lovely pass from Brobble onto Dan Williams. Great touch from him to get it back across goal, and Ben Wilson finished it off. And then lastly, looked like a Rory Holden goal, but I think it may have been an own goal. However, we will find out I'll find out by the second half. Either way, I'll be back in 15 minutes. Don't go anywhere.
we need. And maybe the time is right for us to find our dreams. And maybe it's time for you all to know all of the places we plan to go. And when our future comes to pass, you know we've got the strength to last. And when the old boys shout out loud, heads held high and they stand so proud. And when the bells all ring and the boys all sing for the lads as they take the crown. So don't be down and don't be in distress. We're dancing in the streets of TNS tonight, tonight. And don't be down and don't be such a mess. We're dancing in the streets of TNS tonight, tonight.
Against all the odds. Celebrations out of the pitch.
So don't be down and don't be in distress. We're dancing in the streets of TNS tonight, tonight.
It's there! Against all the odds. Celebrations out on the pitch.
And yeah, it's white and green, you know what I mean. And maybe the time is right for us to back our team. And maybe it's time for you all to know all of the places we plan to go. And when our future comes to pass, you know we've got the strength to last. And when the old boys shout out loud, heads held high and they stand so proud. And when the bells all ring and the boys all sing for the lads as they take the crown. So don't be down and don't be in distress. We're dancing in the streets of TNS tonight, tonight.
And what a beautiful sight I've just seen.
And yeah, it's Champions League and you know what we need. And maybe the time is right for us to find our dreams. And maybe it's time for you all to know all of the places we plan to go. And when our future comes to pass, you know we've got the strength to last. And when the old boys shout out loud, heads held high and they stand so proud. And when the bells all ring and the boys all sing for the lads as they take the crown. So don't be down and don't be And maybe it's time for you all to know all of the places we plan to go. And when our future comes to pass, you know we've got the strength to last. And when the old boys shout out loud, heads held high and they stand so proud. And when the bells all ring and the boys all sing for the lads as they take the crown. So don't be down and don't be in distress. We're dancing in the streets of TNS tonight, tonight.
And what a beautiful sight I've just seen.
And yeah, it's Champions League and you know what we need. And maybe the time is right for us to find our dreams. And maybe it's time for you all to know all of the places we plan to go. And when our future comes to pass, you know we've got the strength to last. And when the old boys shout out loud, heads held high and they stand so proud. And when the bells all ring and the boys all sing for the lads as they take the crown. So don't be down and don't be in distress. We're dancing in the streets of TNS tonight, tonight. And don't be down and don't be such a mess. We're dancing in the streets of TNS tonight, tonight.
Against all the odds. Celebrations out of the pitch.
So don't be down and don't be in distress. We're dancing in the streets of TNS tonight, tonight.
It's there! Against all the odds. Celebrations out on the pitch.
And yeah, it's white and green, and you know what I mean. And maybe the time is right for us to back our team. And maybe it's time for you all to know all of the places we plan to go. And when our future comes to pass, you know we've got the strength to last. And when the old boys shout out loud, heads held high and they stand so proud. And when the bells all ring and the boys all sing for the lads as they take the crown. So don't be down and don't be in distress. We're dancing in the streets of TNS tonight, tonight.
And what a beautiful sight I've just seen.
And yeah, it's Champions League and you know what we need. And maybe the time is right for us to find our dreams. And maybe it's time for you all to know all of the places we plan to go. And when our future comes to such a mess. We're dancing in the streets.
Welcome back, everybody, for the second half here in the capital of Wales. It is currently TNS 3, Cardiff Met 1. Goals from Ben Wilson, Danny Davis, Adam Rusko, and it looks like an own goal for the third goal for TNS. Originally looked like Rory Holden had got a glancing header onto it, but I've spoken to a videographer who was behind the goal, and he said no, it was I should say a videographer, our videographer Deck, who said it was definitely an own goal. So I will speak to Rory at the end of the game, see what he has to say. I'm sure he'll claim it, but looks like it's going to go down as an own goal. I think it's against either Sodi or Sam Richards. It has been credited to Rory on the Cymru Football app, but I think it'll go down as an own goal. So it will be the home side to get this second half underway. Elliot Evans stood over the kickoff. So it looks like they're going to do this kickoff routine again and just powering it into the throw-in area of the right back slot for TNS, just to try and pin them in. It's a very Route 1 tactic, but it's been effective. Very old school from Cardiff Met here. It's good to see. Dan Williams' throw is down the wing, headed down by Morris, but corner switches it out to Davis. Now with Bodenham. Davis to Brobble. Brobble back to Davis. And he goes to Bodenham. Maguire clicks the ball over the top. Williams gets onto it, into Ben Wilson's feet. Ben Wilson tries to flick it through to Jordan Williams, but it's cleared by Cardiff. And Rusko will pick it up in the left wing area. He goes past Maguire, gets it onto, looking for the run of Ryan Reynolds, but Dominic Cornish is there quickly to sweep up. Good defending from the midfielder. It's flicked forward by Davis, but only to the feet of CJ Craven. He goes inside to Joel Edwards. Joel Edwards up to Reynolds. Reynolds back to Edwards. He tries to clip it over the top to Elliot Evans. His touch is loose and Redmond will get onto it and go back to Davis. Davis goes back to his goalkeeper, Shepherd. Shepherd to Maguire. Maguire down the wing to Dan Williams. Williams plays a 1-2 with Holden. Now a Cornish. Cornish to Davis. Williams to Maguire. Maguire to Bodenham. Bodenham out to Danny Davis. Being stood up by Elliot Evans, who goes back to the halfway line to Maguire. Maguire to Cornish. Look like it's a throw in on the far side. Rory Holden on it now to Dan Williams. Williams to Maguire. Mackay back to Holden. Holden skips past Morris and is just pulled down there by the number 14 for Cardiff Met. And it'll be a free kick for TNS. Wide right. Switched out wide now. Davis. Back to Bodenham. He goes out to Cornus. Cornus to Rory Holden. Holden gets it on to Ben Wilson. Wilson tries to put a ball into the box. It's deflected though. Off of Joel Edwards, and it'll go out for a TNS corner. Dominic Cornus to take this as it is an in-swinger. The left footer. Cornus towards the back post. Bodenham jumping, but looks like Sam Richards got there first, and it'll go out for a throw-in on the other side. Jordan Williams coming across here as he's got a long throw. And TNS's big men have stayed forward here. Williams, long throw into the box. Bodenham tries to flick it on. Rusko heads it away. Onto the edge of the box for Cornus. Gets a shot away with his right foot. It's his weaker foot, and he can just well over the bar from Cornus. Good attempt, though. So, header glanced on by Jake Morris, but it'll go straight out for a throw-in on the far side for TNS. Mackay being pressed by Rusko. Shepherd takes a touch, but it takes a bit of a chance. Rusko goes diving in there, but goalkeeper's managed to clear it. Sam Richards tries to get in front of Jordan Williams. The second ball's won by Williams as well. Brobble, first time out to Danny Davis. Outside the boot ball from him onto the run of Jordan Williams. Absalom is fast off his line though. Does well, the goalkeeper. Absalom goes long. Dan Williams being chased by Mwemba. Up the line. Wilson brings it down. Looks like he was dragged to the floor. Referee says no, though. Joel Edwards just carry on the possession for Cardiff Met. Into CJ Craven. Ben Wilson back on his feet, pressing the goalkeeper. Gone long from Absalom. Bodenham heads it down to Davis. Davis first time back to Bodenham. So calm in possession, Jack Bodenham. He just gives an easing presence at the back for TNS. As he finds Davis. He goes back to Bods. Down the line from Williams onto the run of Rory Holden. Gets it in first time with his weaker right foot. Sodi tracking and is forced to put it out for a TNS corner here. Rob will get onto that. Ball's put into the box. Bodenham tries to win it. Headed away by Cardiff. Only as far as Brobble, who gets onto the second ball. Gets another chance to put it into the box. Jack Bodenham having his shirt pulled by Joel Edwards. Now it's onto the far side. Dan Williams skips past Reynolds. Onto the edge of the box for Rory Holden. Gets his shot away. Blocked by Edwards. And Mwemba will try and get onto the loose ball. Does get onto it. Skips past Redmond. There's a free ball onto Elliot Evans if you can see him. Great pass. Cornus, though. Lovely control to stop the counter-attack. Good defending, last man defending from Dominic Cornus, and now TNS have possession again. Brobble now wants to go one-on-one with Sodi. Cuts inside. Kabongo gets back as well. He's forced to go back to Mackay. Redmonds. Now Brobble. Davis. Sody looks to hold him up. Few step overs from Davis. Corners back to Bodenham. Bodenham switches it to Redmond, who's picked up a position in right back. Looks to clip on over the top for Ben Wilson. Headed away by Richards. Corners gets back onto it. First time out to Davis. Davis with Brobble. Ryan Brobble just looking for a pass here. Gets it onto Harrison Mackay. He goes on to Dan Williams. Williams to Holden. Holden. Back to Mackay. Now Holden. Dan Williams. Gets it onto Rory Holden, but his pass is deflected out for a throw-in on the far side. Just under 10 minutes gone of this second half. It's still 3-1 to TNS. Williams throws it into Jordan Williams' feet. Being held up by Joel Edwards. Goes back to Redmonds. Redmond leaves it instead for Danny Davis. Davis onto Corners. Corners first time back to the halfway line for Mackay. Goes up to the right wing for Holden. Plays a 1-2 with Dan Williams and goes back to the centre circle to Jack Bodenham. He gets it out wide, spreads it to Ryan Brobble. One-on-one with Sody here, Brobble. Coming inside. Lovely ball roll to get around him and clip a ball into the front post, but there's just no one there. And Absalom will claim it comfortably. Absalom's goal kick. Williams is underneath it. Onto Holden. Morris battling with him. Kabongo looks to get onto the second ball. Now it's for Joel Edwards. He slips as he goes to clear it up the line and it'll go out for a TNS throw-in just in front of the dugout for the home side. And Joel Edwards just stayed down here after that clearance. Doesn't look like a good one. Back to his feet. Just I think it's a little bit of cramp for the number 3. Mackay, short ball. Nathan Shepherd has to be alert for that. Gets it up the pitch. Jordan Williams chests it down to Holden. Holden. Into midfield for Redmond. Redmond out wide to Brobble, but he's put a little bit too much on it. It'll go out for a Cardiff Met throw-in. So, Craven now. Into Elliot Evans. Mackay clears it. Craven will leave it go out for another throw-in. Cardiff Met skipper. Throws it up the line to Elliot Evans. Missed by Davis, but it's cleared by Mackay. Edwards stands up well to the header. Sam Richards touches loose. Cornish gets onto it now. Goes out wide to Dan Williams, who just carries it over the halfway line. Gets it onto Rory Holden. Holden just looking for an option here as he comes up from right wing. Forced to go back to the halfway line as there's no options on in the midfield. Bodenham out to Danny Davis. He just hooked the touchline here. Davis looks to take on Elliot Evans. Gets past him as well. Gets a ball into the box. Headed away by Craven. Kabongo brings it down. Looks to go back to Elliot Evans, but his pass is way too much on it, and he goes out for a throw-in. Brobble takes it quickly. Brobble looks to clip it inside. Elliot Evans gets a head to it. Redmond, good skill from him. Elliot Evans still battling. Given away by Danny Davis. Craven, good touch away from Brobble. Lovely feet to get away from Jordan Williams as well. Composure, good composure from the captain. Cleared by Morris. Harrison Mackay battling and does well, but it comes off of the TNS centre-back and it'll go out for a throw-in in front of the Cardiff Met bench. Throw-in taken long. Holden clears it. Craven gets his head to it. But it's bounce safely to Bodenham. We'll get the attack back on for TNS. Goes short to Brobble. Brobble clips the ball over the top. Looks like it's beating the offside trap. And Ben Wilson's in here. Hasn't looked up yet. He's taken himself too wide down to the left wing area. Being held up by Sam Richards. Goes back to Brobble. Brobble to Redmond. Redmond Cornus. Cornus switches it out wide to Dan Williams. He goes back to Cornus. He goes into the centre circle for Jack Bodenham. Bodenham out wide to Danny Davis. Has been hugging the touchline all game so far. He's done well to create width in the TNS attack. And now it's back with Mackay. Mackay to Cornus. Back to Cornus. Mackay. Dan Williams. First time to Cornus. Just nice little triangles here in the centre of the pitch. As we could just see, a substitution is being ready for TNS. Ben Clark is ready to come on. Redmond inside to Brobble. Brobble holds off his man. Tries to clip a ball over the top to Holden, but he's put too much on it. And it looks like the substitution will be made now for TNS. Just to see who's going to be coming off for him. So it is Danny Redmond, the captain, coming off after half an hour. He's on a yellow card, so it's probably just precaution from Craig Harrison to bring Ben Clark on. So Ben Clark will slot into midfield. You can just see also Jack Nadine and Adam Wilson warming up for the New Saints. Bodenham gets his head to that wrong ball. Holden, Ben Wilson trying to get onto it, but it's good play from Craven to beat him to it. Now it's with Absalom. We'll go long. Header won by Reynolds, but it's not to anybody. And it'll roll all the way back to Nathan Shepherd in goal for the New Saints. Now Bodenham goes on to Davis. Back to Bodenham. Holden. Clark. Plays it down the line. Good run from Holden, but it gets past Jake Morris in the end. Puts it into the box. Headed away by Kabongo. Morris has stayed down. Looks like he's just getting back to his feet slowly here. Danny Davis plays it back to Bodenham. Bodenham so calm on the ball. Picks out a pass to Cornus, but he's dispossessed by Kabongo, who will come forward now. Gets it onto Reynolds. Reynolds first time into Elliot Evans' feet. Got a little bit of space in number 7 now as he comes forward to Cardiff. Cuts inside onto his left foot. Instead, sprays it out wide to Mwambwa. Mwambwa gets on the wing, puts a cross into the box, but it's straight into the hands of Nathan Shepherd. Good hands from the TNS number 1. And he rolls it short to Ben Clark. Clark onto Williams. Williams back into Clark. Clark plays a through ball onto Ben Wilson, who was onside as well. He was onside. Referee says no. I think he was just on. I'm not sure. I need to see a replay, but I think it was about maybe closer than it looked though. He might have made it. So free kick to Cardiff Met for the offside against Ben Wilson. Again, Absalom goes long and direct onto Ruskrow. Battling with Bodenham. Ruskrow's managed to get it down. Moando picks it up. Drops his shoulder. Looks like he might have been clipped by Dan Williams, but doesn't go down. It's Honest from the number 19. Goes to the box. Danny Davis clears it. Kabongo gets onto the second ball. Now onto CJ Craven. Craven into Kabongo. He goes first time out wide to Sodi. Pressed by Danny Davis. He does well to put it out for a throw-in. So throw in for Morris. Long throw in as well. Headed away by Bodenham. Kabongo gets onto the second ball, but his pass is loose and it'll go out for a TNS throw in this time. Thrown into Davis. Davis back to Brobble. Brobble being crashed by Sodi. Goes to switch a reverse ball over to Rory Holden, but it's good defending from Morris to head it back to his goalkeeper. Absalom goes long again. Dan Williams underneath it. Corners jumping with Kabongo. CJ Craven gets it onto Sodi. Gets it back to Craven, who's overlapped down the right. Puts the ball into the box. Maguire wins the first header, but he's headed it straight into the path of Ryan Reynolds, who just... Great chance there, and he's just dragged it wide. He won't want to watch that one back again. He should have probably scored. Certainly should have hit the target. It's a poor defensive header from Harrison Maguire plays it right into the feet of Ryan Reynolds. Good touch from him originally, but he should be getting that on target from the position he's missed. Ryan Reynolds really should be doing better there as he just makes his last contribution here as he's being subbed off. Also, Lewis Reese is coming on the number 9 for Elliot Evans. And Ruskrow is coming off for the number 17, Jasper Payne. So a triple substitution from Cardiff Met. Also, Harry John, the number 20, is on. Played short by Shefford. Bodenham, up the line. Looking for the run of Ben Wilson. Headed down by Sam Richards. Now Craven. Back to Richards. Clips it out wide. Looking for Morris. Gets it down well, the number 14. Trying to get past Rory Holden, but he's tracked in well, the Irishman, and wins it back for TNS. Now Dan Williams goes on to Maguire. Maguire back to Holden. Now with Bodenham. Davis back to Bodenham. Davis clips it up. Wilson loses out to Kabongo. Tries to get it on to Payne. Short ball from Maguire, but it's cleared by Shepard. Sodi will let it go out for a throw-in. CJ Craven's onto that quickly. Down the line to Lewis Reese. Reese inside to Sodi. Gets past Clark. Now Payne picks the ball up. But instead it's down the wing for a counter-attack from TNS. Brobble finds Wilson. He looks to deliver the ball into the back post. Jordan Williams jumping, but it's a difficult header to get above. Just stuck underneath the ball and it'll go out for a goal kick. Just over 20 minutes left of this game. It's still 3-1 to the New Saints. Bodenham Heads the goal kick down, but Sodi gets onto it well. Good chest control from him. Looking for a pass. Cuts inside on his left foot. Tries to nutmeg Ryan Brovel, and he comes away with it. Good skill from Sodi. You don't see Brovel getting nutmeg very often. He's normally the one dishing out the megs. Now Edwards goes past Jordan Williams on the halfway line. Forced to go back to Morris at left back. He goes down the line, looking for the run of Payne, the substitute. Mackay's tracked in well. Mackay stands up strong at the end to see it out for a goal kick. So, goal kick taken short. Shepherd onto Mackay. Bodenham onto Davis. Davis inside. Trying to go to Brovel, but it's intercepted by Lewis Rees. He goes back to Sodi. Sodi tries to hook it down the line. Bodenham clears it. Brovel heads it into Ben Wilson. He tried to play it back to Brovel, but Harry John is onto it. Clips it over the top through ball, looking for Mwenda. Goes over his head. Dan Williams will pick up the loose end. Play back to Nathan Shepherd, who clears it. CJ Craven lets the ball bounce over his head, but he plays it back calmly to Absalom. He's going to be pressed by Jordan Williams. He goes short to Joel Edwards. Edwards inside to Kabongo. Back to Absalom. Absalom's clearance, though, is just overhit, and looks like there's going to be two substitutions here for the New Saints. Ryan Brovel is coming off for the number 24, Jack Nadine. And the return, the third debut for Adam Wilson. He comes on for the number 18, Rory Holden, just as we see here, an issue for Danny Davis, who's gone down off the ball. Doesn't look good, and I really hope this isn't a serious one, as he's just come back from injury and he's starting to find his feet again. Really hope this one isn't too serious for DD. So Danny Davis just receiving some treatment. We'll all got our fingers crossed that it's not a serious one. Might even be taken off as a precaution. So Danny Davis just coming off here. I'm not sure if there's going to be a substitution, but it looks like there will be, as Jacob Owens sent back to the bench to get changed into his kit. So an unexpected substitution here as Danny Davis comes off injured, and we'll hope it isn't a serious one. So Jacob Owen, the former hub for Westman, is going to be coming on here. Also, some substitutions for Cardiff Met as well, as Jake Morris, the number 14, is coming off. And replacing him is the number 12, Riley Lonergan. So Dan Williams. Kabongo heads it down. Lewis Rees gets it down. The shin pad's been lost in the process. Don't know which player that was just yet. Low ball from him. Finds Mwenda, though. He cuts inside. Dan Williams gets a shot away straight into the hands of Nathan Shepherd. Parries the first attempt, but smothers the second ball before anyone else can get onto it. Now Bodenham. Looks like it was Jacob Owen shin pad, the substitute. He's got it back now, though. Down the line, looking for Adam Wilson, his first touches on his third debut. A little bit of skill past the other substitute. Lonergan gets it into the box. Just overhits that and it goes out for a goal kick. But a little bit of the Adam Wilson flair that we've missed so far this season. Not wearing his normal number 28, he's wearing the 77 this time round. Heard he's not too happy about it. Maguy heads it to Jordan Williams. He goes long. Craven heads it down. Sodi. Ben Clark. Down the line. Adam Wilson picks it up. Goes past one player. Goes past two. But CJ Craven's there to just to sweep up well in the end. Adam gets back and forces it out for a Cardiff Met throw-in with just over 15 minutes to go here. Edwards down the line. Flicked on by Sodi. Flick further on, it looked like from John, Payne. But it's gone out for a TNS throw-in. Looks like Jacob Owen has gone onto the right-hand side and Dan Williams will fill in on the left. Now it's with Dan Williams. Into Maguy. Maguy to Ben Clark. Looks to go past. Wants to go past Payne, but forced back inside. Bodenham now coming over the halfway line. Back to Cornus. Ben Clark plays it over the top, looking for the run of Jacob Owen. Wemba tracks him well, though, and sees it out for another goal kick. Goal kick from Absalom. Brought down by Payne, but his touch is loose and it'll go out for a throw-in on the halfway line for TNS. Headed down by Sodi. John clears it, looking for the run of Payne. Headed down by Maguy, cleared by Jack Nadine. Craven clears it again. Harrison Maguy back on it. Lonergan with the interception. Wilson battling with Sodi. Wenda comes away with the ball, but Harrison Maguy wins the seconds. Now it's with Bodenham being pressed by Lewis Rees. Good feet from Jack Bodenham to get back to his goalkeeper. And now it's first time to Dan Williams, who's filled in at left back. Now it's out with Adam Wilson, one-on-one with Sodi. Looks to go past him, puts it into the box. Swiped by Sam Richards onto the crossbar and out for a corner in the end. Just a little bit fortunate from the Cardiff Met defender. So Nadine with the corner. Short from him into Wilson. Dean puts it into the box after the 1-2. Into the back post. Maguy gets onto it, but he puts it out for a goal kick. Not known for his goal scoring, Harrison Maguy. So again, direct from Absalom. Lewis Rees will try and flick it on, but Dan Williams gets there first. Now Ben Clark gets into the second ball, goes long down the wing, and it's into space for Ben Wilson to run onto, being held up by Sam Richards. Wilson looks to hit the byline, put it into the box, into the front post for Jack Nadine, who just can't get a connection onto it, and it'll go through to Absalom. He takes it quickly long onto Payne, flicked on to Nathan Shepherd. Good header by Harrison Maguire. Really composed, actually, to just glance that back to his goalkeeper on the volley. Maguire to Bothernham. Bothernham out wide to Williams. Into Cornus. Cornus back to Bothernham. Bothernham clips one over the top, looking for Dan Williams. Managed to keep it in as well. Kabongo holding him up, but he gets it back to Jack Nadine. Nadine into Cornus. Cornus goes back to Bothernham. Forced back to his goalkeeper. Now it's with Maguire. Cornus. 1-2 between him and Dan Williams. Back to the halfway line for Bothernham. Just over 10 minutes left of this game now. Now Maguire. Owen, back to Maguire. Jordan Williams lets it run through his legs, and we'll try and keep that in, actually. Just, in the end, too much on the pass, and Jordan Williams, he's quick, but he's not just quite that quick. So, Absalom goal kick again. Absalom's goal kick is long. Clark onto Bothernham. Out wide to Nadine. To Cornus. Cornus out to Maguire. Now Adam Wilson. Back to Bothernham. Bothernham out wide to Maguire. He's dropped into right back. Back to Wilson. Dropped a bit deeper, the right winger. Onto Cornus. Cornus to Jack Nadine. Nadine to Maguire. It's a really good possession, this from TNS. Maguire goes on to Bothernham. He gets it to Cornus. Cornus back to Bothernham. Still with Maguire now. Tries to clip a ball over the top for Wilson. Headed away by Sodin. It'll go out for a throw-in. Jordan Williams down to Adam Wilson. Being held up by Sodi. Comes inside to Williams. Out to... Now to Dominic Cornus. Cornus. Bothernham. Now with Dan Williams. Williams. Ben Wilson. His touch is loose. Cardiff regain possession, but they give it away again. Ben Clark's quick onto the scene. Dan Williams onto Jack Nadine. Nadine now onto Wilson. Wilson tries to go back to Nadine. CJ Craven does well, though. Now it's on to Kabongo. Nadine's going to track him well. Great tackle from Jack Nadine as well. Throw into Absalom. Jordan presses him. Balls into the midfield now. Ben Clark tries to play it through to Adam Wilson, but intercepted by Cardiff Met. And now Sodi tries to play it down the line, but he's put it out for another throw-in. So it'll be a throw-in for TNS. Jacob Owen goes down the line, long throw. Cleared by Edwards. Ben Clark picks it up into the midfield. Battle with him and Lonergan comes into a 50-50. Now Sodi has the ball, being pressed by Adam Wilson. Good turn from him, though. So Sodi will take this throw, but I think he's going to leave it for his captain, CJ Craven. Thrown into Mepper, but he's put it out for a goal kick for TNS. So goal kick here for Nathan Shepherd. 84 minutes gone here in the capital. It is still 3-1 to the New Saints. Edwards heads it forward. Harrison McGuy's onto the second ball. Jordan Williams looks to pick up the loose end, but it goes out for a Cardiff Met throw-in. I'm not a referee. Jacob Owen battling with Mwanda, who comes away with the ball here. Got a lot of green shirts around him. Tries to get it into the box, headed away by Bodenham. Jacob Owen clears it and is fouled on the follow-through, so it'll be a free kick for TNS as we approach the last 5 minutes of this game. So Nathan Shep will take this free kick for the New Saints. Jordan Williams tries to glance it on. Sodi beats him to it. Headed further clear by Sam Richards. Mwanda gets it down the wing. Mwanda trying to go one-on-one with Jacob Owen. Looks to come off Owen, and he does as Cardiff Met take the throw in quickly onto Lonergan. Lonergan back to Sodi. Sodi inside to John. Back to Sodi now. Down to the half line for Edwards. Edwards into Richards. Richards to CJ Craven, the captain. Coming over the halfway line here. Gets it out wide to Kabongo. Kabongo comes back into the midfield for John. Little reverse step over from him to try and get away from Ben Clark, who's tracked his run well. Clips it over the top through ball, looking for the runner Craven. It's a really good pass as well. Craven's got space to put it into the box. Headed away by Bodenham. Mwanda will pick up the loose piece at the back of the loose ball on the other wing and look to go past Jacob Owen. Jacob Owen slips. Good skill from Mwanda. Jacob Owen recovers though and blocks it out for a corner as we hit the 87th minute here in Cardiff. So a corner here for an outswing corner here for Cardiff Met. It looks like a substitution's happening for TNS in the process as the number 9 Ken Charles is coming on for Ben Wilson, just to see out the last 2.5 minutes of this game, just to add a little bit extra physicality and size. Corner from Cardiff met, headed away by Ken Charles, straight into the action, the number 9. Ball isn't clear though. Sodi has a shot from the edge of the box. Jack Nadine blocks it. Jordan Williams looking to come away with it, but it's a good tackle from Lonergan to get Cardiff Met back on the attack. Lewis Reese puts a ball deep into the back post, but he's put too much on it and it'll go out for a TNS goal kick. So, Dan Williams now to bother them. Back to Shepherd. He goes to Maguire, who clears it long. Ken Charles looking to get onto the ball, but Sam Richards heads it clear. Good touch from Craig Harrison on the touchline. Plucking that ball out of the sky, rolling back the years with that one. Just showing he's still got it, the TNS gaffer. As it's a throw into TNS. Owen throws it long, headed down by Sodi. CJ Craven clears it further. Lewis Reese glances it on to John, who tries to get it up to Payne. Harrison Maguire's got some work to do here to try and see him off. And he does well, the TNS defender, to see it out for a throw-in as we just come into the 90th minute here. Yet to see how much time will be added on. Okay. I apologise if you've heard any random voices throughout this commentary. As we weren't in the gantry today, I'm in the stands and I've had a group of kids continually try and get on the mic and stand scarily close to me while I'm commentating. So it's been an interesting afternoon for myself. I do apologise if the mic's picked up any of the feedback. But now the ball's bouncing midfield as we have 4 minutes of added time at the end of this game. As Mwanda comes away with the ball and is dragged to the floor by Jacob Owen. No rhyming. No pun intended there. So it'll be a deep free kick. And I'd imagine Lewis Reese will be fancying this just to put a good ball into the box here. So it'll be Lewis Reese to take this left footer from deep. Clips it into the back stick. Jordan Williams clears it onto the edge of the box for John, who heads it back inside. Cleared again by Harrison Maguire. John heads it back up though. Jordan Williams is onto that and will clear it once and for all. Up to the halfway line. Kabongo tries to get onto it and bring it down. Ken Charles is battling with him. Just for coming together between the two. And the referee says it's a foul against Ken Charles. Cardiff look set on trying to get at least one goal back into this game as we hit the last 3 minutes. So free kick from Absalom. Headed up rather than away from Jacob Owen. Apologies, I'm hiccuping. It goes out ultimately for a TNS throw-in. Jacob Owens throw in. Looks like Jordan Williams just fouled there. He was by Joel Edwards. TNS have a free kick on the halfway line. Maguire to Bodenham. Bodenham to Dan Williams. Williams clattered by Lewis Reese off the ball. It's got to be a yellow card. There it is. Dan Williams has stayed down from the firm tackle from Lewis Reese. And the physios are asking to come on here. It's not a good one if Dan Williams doesn't normally stay down. It's not. Can't be a good one if Dan Williams stays down. He's not one to pick up injuries. But it's good to see him back on his feet here. The last 45 seconds here, but I think we'll play a few more due to the injury. So Bothernham up towards Jordan Williams, tries to get it onto Ken. Goes out for a Cardiff Met throw-in. Craven up towards John. Now it's with Sam Richards. He goes long looking for Wanda. Jacob Owen tracks it well. Looks to be a foul in there by Jacob Owen. It is. And looks like this is just hit the last hit, come into added time now as we've gone over the 4-minute mark. Seems to be one last put into the box by Lewis Reese in this free kick, and that'll be that. Free kick deep. Joel Edwards is offside though. Referee flags the offside. No full-time whistle just yet, so we'll carry on for a few more seconds. So free kick to be taken by Shepherd. And that is the full-time whistle here. It finishes TNS 3, Cardiff Met 1. All goals came in the first half. Goals from Ben Wilson, Adam Rushcrow, Danny Davis, and an own goal from, it looked like, Sam Richards to finish his game 3-1. TNS go joint on points with Carnarvon, depending on the results. But it is a big win for TNS in the capital, and you will hear from me again on Tuesday for the game against Flint Town. I will see you then. Everybody have a lovely evening.
It's there against all the odds. Celebrations out on the pitch.
And yeah, it's white and green, you know what I mean. And maybe the time is right for us to back our team. And maybe it's time for you all to know